Some of the projects include the Uganda support to municipal infrastructure development in Hoima Oil City. Under the Uganda support to municipal infrastructure development, the World Bank had injected over 61 billion shillings on the urban roads. Other projects are the Albertine Region Sustainable Development Project, which has been working on the rural roads, markets and urban streets in the districts of Bulisa, Chikobe and Hoima. Another project is a development response to displacement impact projects, among others. Brian Kabuyo, the mayor of Hoima Oil City, explains that they also had submitted other 14 roads and other obituaries for consideration under the Band 3 of the Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure Development Project, but all this will not be worked on due to the suspension of the funding.
The city right now has been implementing a project, several projects in Batch 1 and Batch 2, where we are working on about 7.5 kilometers of roads in the city, which are about now 80%, but I believe they're not affected by this current situation which is there.
He says the city doesn't have the capacity to work on the remaining roads because their local revenue is still very low at 2 billion shillings.
As local revenue as the city, despite the changes, our budget is always about 2 billion, what we plan for to get 2 billion, and we realize about 60-70% of that. So that's why I say that when you look at USMIT, the whole financial budget and what USMIT does, this is 161 billion for all the projects we're doing. The Batch 1 and Batch 2 can't be compared to the 2 billion which we budget for per financial year.
Dr. Lawrence Bategeka, an economist, says that if the government fails to resolve the matter with the World Bank, projects like the Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure Development and all development will adversely be affected. Bategeka adds that the corruption on these things that consume the biggest portion of the Uganda's funds should be fought with all efforts.
We as a country should have done better in terms of utilizing the aid that we have so far received to build the capacity and turn it into an integrated and self-sustaining economy over time.
Ismail Kusemerera, the Executive Director, Midwestern Region Anti-Corruption Coalition, reveals that people who have been working on the World Bank-funded projects in the regions are likely to be unemployed following the suspension.
It means that the local person is highly affected in terms of how much they produce, in terms of production. You know that these roads aid production, but also the little monies that people get support them to increase production.
Locals believe that much focus should be put on the agriculture and strengthening the private sector, such that the government can be able to raise enough revenue.
Through agriculture, agribusiness, dairy, fishing, and then the local revenue collection is in the market. But all this can only be able to be achieved if we support the small entrepreneurs.
President Museveni asked Ugandans not to fear, saying Uganda will survive with or without the World Bank funds. On Sunday, the Archbishop of Church of Uganda added his voice on this issue, saying that Ugandans shouldn't bow down to foreign partners who think we should adopt their evil culture to be funded.
This is when we got the sad news from the World Bank putting a halt on all the loans coming into our country because of our stand as Uganda, which is an independent country, by the way. That is abominable. But those who think that definitely they are taking away support from us, then you know they have not been our friends.